have been eliminated. So, and with regard to
my daughter has no ninth grade, which is supposed to be credit recovery. I mean, no ninth
credit
period.
recovery isn't just the ninth grade, it's also
I know, ninth period.
these are the things I'll look into. What I answered was whether or not this was eliminated, it wasn't. With regard to kids standing, that I have to investigate because we have enough chairs. From what I understand, we had them last year, and we haven't had an increase in the number of kids.
Well, I was told specifically one of the classes are ninth period physics class, and then there's a few more classes, but specifically I was just told ninth period physics.
High school principal will be calling you tomorrow. And also, the assistant director,
We took care of the
work.
director.
Yeah, we did.
Did we take care of the director?
Yes, I believe that we did, and if he isn't, no matter what, he has to be paid for the time he has worked.
Okay, but there's parents that are sitting waiting for things to be implemented that, oh, the music director. Okay, the assistant director that's been,
Yes. Okay. And with regard to the IEP, I received myself, with regard to your daughter, I received an,
We can't discuss.
Sorry.
Well, one question she did ask, I think we need to discuss what plan do we have in place to handle the fact that the position of Director of Guidance is no longer in existence, and the duties that are attached to that, what are we doing to replace that? Because it was an ongoing issue for a very long time, and now that the position is gone, what proactive step have we taken to get this position up and running again?
It is my understanding that for the time being, until we get another director, which has been advertised, the responsibility had been divided by the principal to individuals in the school. And that's what normally happens when we suddenly have somebody missing in any school. We're going to divide up the task until we get the new person in. That is my understanding.
4 minutes and 20 seconds. Regarding IEPs, that could be directed to the Director of Special Education, Mr. Van Cupero. Kim Singleton, I believe.
Kim Singleton. Okay, I'd like to know, why was a high school student allowed to take Spanish who had never ever had Spanish before for credit recovery just to be allowed to play football for Saturdays? And why is credit recovery allowed for someone for gym? Okay, and also we'd like to know why is this agenda not provided in Spanish? Okay, there was a teacher that was hired for math and social studies for the ASA program who has since resigned. We'd like to know the reason why and when is there going to be a replacement for her, that person, and when we finally get an agenda for our kids from Ms. Silver. And also, I've been asking for a long time, and I'm hoping to get a date tonight. When will I finally get an expense report on these consultants and these expenses? Maybe our friend Mike can answer that question. Thank you.
Oftentimes, there are students who cannot, for a variety of reasons, sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's something else, they will be allowed to take credit recovery for physical ed. It may be in health. That is my understanding. So that they can not, without it, they can't graduate. So credit recovery offers them. In terms of second language, a child can take Spanish. We have, now whether or not it's necessarily the best thing, and I'm not aware, I'm having a meeting with the credit recovery people this week, but I'm not aware exactly of the language issue, whether or not the child will have the credits necessary to graduate. But all of the programs, from what I understand, are standardized. They're allowed by the state education department, and you can have credit given to you. But I will look into the language.
You're totally off subject. I asked why was a student allowed to take credit recovery for Spanish who had never had Spanish for the purpose of playing football.
We can't discuss particular
So I'm
students.
just clarifying my question. I'm not having dialogue. Let's get that straight.
We're not going to discuss specific students.
Well, I didn't ask for specifics. I asked a question.
Well, that was regarding a specific student. Pastor Jackson.
Did I call on that?
Well, there's enough
Because I
identified
get my
information.
question answered. I'm sure I was under the 4 minutes, right?
We're not going to discuss that question. There's enough identifying
Does
information.
she have more time?
She
Okay,
has 23 seconds.
okay then, so you wasted some of the seconds by.
Yeah,
What question would you like to, are you aware of what she's speaking about related to the credit recovery and the football student?
No, I'm not aware.
Okay, then, as soon as you can find that out, we would like you to report that. She also asked about the money for the consultants. I do believe we got that report, and if there's some way that Mr. Finger could capture that report and share it, because I know that she was the first one to ask for it. I don't think you've been at some of the subsequent meetings when it was revealed. So we do in fact have gotten, and others have asked for it as well, and we'll make sure you get a copy of it.
Okay, then I'd like to know about Ms. Silver's agenda for our kids. And I have that question as well.
Yes. You talk about her basic overall vision view. Right, well, I'll have her speak to that, because that's definitely much broader discussion before we go in general, because she does need to address that. Mr. Pastor Jackson.
Pastor Jackson.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Pastor Jackson. First thing we'd like to ask you is how you making out with the books? Did you get the new books?
Yes, we're very pleased about all the books that we've ordered. And on the agendas, you've seen the money that we're spending. We're going to fill those
Ms. Silva, your pastor is reminding me, please let him make
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Next thing, now you need to get rid of the books and get a Apple iPod. We're talking about moving. We're talking about moving with the future, right? We're not talking about standing still. And you want to bring everything up to date, correct? We do have new money, right? New money's coming in, so we're going to reach back and get some of those paralegals that have been laid off, fired, whatever. Correct?
I don't know if I'm allowed to answer, but I know that the money questions I'll leave to Mr. Robert Finger.
Also, we do need recreation. We need recreation. We need program after school, both for physical and for tutoring. We need to do something for our children after school. We need to work on that. All right? Thank you very much for your time.
Reverend Jackson has additional time, so if you'd like to answer Mr. Finger or Ms. Silva.
I've already indicated that we're getting the books. I'd love to explore Apple iPods for the future. With regard to recreation after school, we are going to have the After 3 program, which provides for, in 3 of our elementary schools, Clifton, Clark, and, we're going to have the After 3 program, which provides for both physical, which is the recreational, as well as academic. So at least in that area, we will be having that.
Ms. Silva?
Yes?
I'm sorry, but I'm asking, the Reverend asked a very clear question. iPads, they're called.
iPods.
Well, they're pads, but they could be pods too.
Morristown is doing it.
My question, did we not get computers for all the children in the middle school last year through Achieve 3000 or something with SES that the kids were supposed to use in school?
That's
We
middle
have
school.
a-
We're talking high school.
Well, let me just get middle school first.
Well, we have a large number. I believe it was 100 laptops. They were not the pads, pods,
Well,
whatever.
I'd like,
Where are-
Mr. Attorney, I understand this question related to the iPad, and we very much would like to get to the place of getting iPads. Right now, I think a broader and more important question that I want answered is the question about the relevant stuff right now, textbooks. I think it's very important. I heard your answer, but I want to know from the building principals and the content specialists if the textbooks that we harped on all last year, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to do very well if we hear that there's textbook issues, because we went through this for an entire year. So I hear you, but I think we owe it to the community not to just say, it's okay. We need to know what each building principal has stated that they have and don't have, because I got to guarantee if there's disarray, somebody's missing something. So we need to hear from each building what textbooks they've gotten, and are they still waiting for any? That's very important, just so you know.
I can report back at the next meeting. I know that they have been ordered, the purchase orders have been put through. So they are in the process, they've been delivered throughout the summer as well as we speak now. So at the next meeting, I'll be able to have each principal's report.
Okay, just so you know, I don't quote Mr. Waters often, but I'll quote him right now. Because for fear of being, but I usually ask questions because I know the answer. That's one of his famous quotes. So I'm just saying we need to make sure, because I don't want to tell the community, oh yes, yes, because see, all the kids that may not have, they'll be here next week. That's what happened last time. Don't tell them yes unless we know yes is a definite yes, because if 10 kids are up there and they tell me one after one after one after one, then we got problems. So
And that's why I said the purchase orders have been issued. We are receiving them every single day. So, but by the next meeting, I'll have every principal's report.
That would be very important. Yes, Dr.
I'd also like to speak in terms of the Title I funds.
Could you speak?
Sorry, I thought I was not. The Title I funds, we're already forecasting in terms of what we need. I am consulting with the content specialist, and part of building the Title I budget is looking at the voids and moving forward, and forecasting in terms of what we need. So we won't be having this discussion, and it is looking at technology, but looking at what we need to build in order to use the iPads in the classroom. They won't be functional unless I have something to make them work.
Thank you, sir. Next,
It's hard to make out the next name. Looks like Zana. Can't make out the last name. Starts with a C. It says 227 Pine Tree Drive.
yes, thank you.
The next person is Kelly Holman. Kelly Holman.
He was just here. Mr. Wellman left.
Then the last one is Mr. Glenn Kerr.
Mr. Kirk, okay.
Glenn Kerr, 147, Regional Place. Actually, I'm not here to ask a question. I'm here to